ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस प्रजिकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शास्त्री श्रीमद ऐसी भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी श्री प्रभुपाद की जय नितिलीला प्रविष्ट ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस प्रजिकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शास्त्री श्रीमद ऐसी भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी श्री प्रभुपाद की दामोदर मास की जय श्री दादा श्याम सुंदर भगवान की जय गौरताई की जय श्रीमद् भागवत महापुराण की जय और प्रेमानंदे
हरि हरि बोल।
ओम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुर्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यो मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मायं ददाति स्वं पदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपत्कमलं श्रीगुरन् वैष्णवाश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजतं सहगणरघुनाथवितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सरभूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपदान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधाकान्त नमस्तुते तप्त काञ्चन गौरांगी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुतदेवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। So we are doing the Srimad Bhagavatam Mahapuran, Canto 10, Chapter 80th, the verse 43. So please repeat after me. Itiham vidhanya anekani vasantam guru veshmani gurora anugrahaneva puman purna prashantaya itiham vedhanya nikhyani vasantam guru veshmani guroranugrahaneva puman purna prashantaye itiham vidhane nikhani vasantam guru veshmani guroranugrahaneva puman purna prashantaye. Prabhuji.
Itam vidani anekani Guru Veshmani Vasantam Guru Veshmani Guru Anugraheva Purna Prashantaye Itam vidani anekani Vasantam Guru Veshmani Vasantam Guru Veshmani Guru Anugraheva Puman Purna Prashantaye Itam vidhani anekani Vasanta Vasantam Guru Veshmani
Vasantam Guru Veshmani
Guru Anugraheneva
Guru Anugraheneva
Man Purna Prasantaye
Uman Purna Prashantaye
Ittam vidhani ekani
Vitam Vidani Ekani
Vasantam Guru Vesmani
Vasantam Guru Veshmani
Guru Anugrahena Iva
Guru Anugraheneva
Man Purna Prasantaye
Uman Purna Prashantaye
Mataji.
Vitam Vidani Ekani Vasantam Guru Veshmani Guru Anugraheneva Uman Purna Prashantaye Vitam Vidani Ekani Vasantam Guru Veshmani Guru Anugraheneva Uman Purna Prashantaye
Word meanings translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So please repeat after me. Itiham Vidani, like this, Anekani, many things, Vasantam, by us, who were living, Guru, of our spiritual master, Veshmani, in the home, Guru, of the spiritual master, Anugrahena, by the mercy, Eva, simply, Kuman, a person, Purna, fulfilled, Prashante, for attaining total peace. Please repeat the translation after me. Lord Krishna continued. We had many similar experiences while living in our spiritual master's home. Simply, by the grace of the spiritual master, a person can fulfill life's purpose and attain eternal peace. So it doesn't have a purport, but we will, I think so, complete the chapter by reading other shlokas, translations and the purport there. So the next shloka that comes up is Sri Brahmana Uvacha. So that is the Sudama speaking now. So the Brahmana said, "What could I possibly have failed to achieve, O Lord of the Lords, O universal teacher, since I was able to personally live with you, whose every desire is fulfilled at the home of our spiritual master." So Prabhupada gives, they are the disciples of Prabhupada who gave this purport. From everything that is, they had read from Prabhupada's lectures, they had come from all Prabhupada's different purports, they deducted this purport. And it says here, Sudama Brahman wisely understands his extraordinary good fortune of having lived with Sri Krishna at the residence of their spiritual master. Thus, whatever external difficulties they experienced were actually an expression of Lord's mercy to teach the importance of service to the spiritual master. Srila Prabhupada renders the learned Brahmana's feelings as follows. Sudama said, "My dear Krishna, you are the Supreme Lord and the Supreme Spiritual Master of everyone. And since I was fortunate enough to live with you in the house of our Guru, I think I have nothing more to do in the matter of the prescribed Vedic duties." So the last verse, I'll just read the translation. That's verse 45. "O Almighty Lord, your body comprises the absolute truth in the form of Vedas, and in thus the source of all auspicious goals of life. That you took up residence at the school of a spiritual master is simply one of your pastimes in which you play the role of a human being." So he understood that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and here he is glorifying Krishna. But we go to the shloka of today, that is text 43. Actually, this is all the glorification of the Supreme Lord is going of the spiritual master is going on. So we should respect the spiritual master like Krishna, like the Supreme Lord. But he is not Supreme God, but he should be respected, and he should be, actually the instructions should be taken from the spiritual master who is bona fide, who is coming from disciplic succession. These instructions should be taken as the life and soul of one's. Once, you should discard all your intelligence, all your intellect at the lotus feet of the spiritual master. Likewise, in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna tells Arjuna, because Arjuna accepts what here the Brahmana Sudama is accepting, that's a Kshatriya. Arjuna also accepts the same. He says, Yo the Purna Bhagavan. So I take you as my Adi Guru. Shishaste am Shadibam Tvam Prapannam. I surrender unto you. So until he surrendered, until he said, I am your Shishya. Surrender means disciple, to be in discipline. So when he surrendered, he said, I am your Shishya. Then only Krishna started speaking Bhagavad Gita. He did not utter a word before that. He was just listening to Arjuna. The first chapter is completely listening to Arjuna. So here is the same thing is being again accepted by Sudama. Sudama is a Brahmana. And he is accepting that you are the universal teacher. You are Adi Guru. For Sudama, going to Dwarka was like going back to Godhead. He was going to Krishna. That's back to Godhead. And it was like that for him. And he felt very fortunate on returning that, oh, really, I spent the best of time in my lifetime. I had spent with Krishna in the Gurukul and with him there under a spiritual master. And in the last verse, he accepts that Krishna is the Supreme Lord, but simply he actually accepted this, that he went to a guru, he went under the shelter of a guru just to play the role of a human being, to teach us that a guru is very important in life. So here, today's again shloka, it says Krishna continued, we had similar experiences while living in our spiritual master's home. Simply by grace of the spiritual master, a person can fulfill. So unless we have the mercy of the spiritual master, we cannot attain the peace we are looking for. We all are looking for happiness and peace in this life. Everybody will agree. Yesterday evening, I was giving the 4th lecture of the day in a Bengali community. And there the topic, I just asked all of them, what are we looking? And here with the youth also, when I was giving, I was asking them, what are you looking for in this life? What everybody wants. If you go to a person who doesn't come to ISKCON temple, he would say peace and happiness. But in ISKCON, when you enter and then you come to know the philosophy, we start saying, oh, we need Krishna. We want to go back to Godhead. But if you go to a person who is very new, who doesn't know anything in this, he's materialistic. You just ask him, being materialistic also, what he wants. He will say, I want peace and happiness. That's why here Krishna actually says here, you will attain peace and happiness once you once you receive the mercy of the spiritual master. We all are looking, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Nastir buddhi yukta se nacha yukta se bhavna nacha vata shantira shantasya kuta sukham. Without shanti, no sukh. Shantasya kuta sukham. He says, shanti ke bina sukh kaisa. The first peace comes and then shanti comes and then happiness comes. It's never that happiness comes before the peace. That is momentary happiness. If you buy a new car, you are very happy for a moment. After a few months, few years, a new model comes up, your happiness is gone. If your neighbor gets a bigger brand than your car, your happiness is gone. So our happiness always depends upon outside world, and it's momentary. The happiness that derives from the outside, from the other things, that happiness is not permanent. That is just temporary. That will go away anytime. It will slip away. But the eternal happiness, the eternal peace, how does it come? When we take the shelter of the spiritual master in the real sense, sincerely. There is a word called, Prabhupada says in the Bhagavatam, in purports, don't be a pseudo-devotee. People in the material world, they are pseudo. So pseudo means fake. In the material world, everybody is fake. You meet a person, you say, how are you? And he says, oh, I'm fine. And nobody is fine. Guru Maharaj always used to say, nobody is fine. You just, after he says, I'm fine, and you just tell him one problem of yours, he'll tell 100 problems of his. So this will happen. The material world is like that. Everybody is fake. Even if your children, they will all be gaga over you. But the moment they will ask, you refuse something to them, and then you see what happens. You will become the worst person in their lives if you don't fulfill their desires. So it's all expectations. In expectations, there are all frustrations and there is no happiness. Nobody will get the peace and happiness. But if you surrender to the spiritual master and follow his instructions, then you see what happens. Your life becomes very peaceful. Your life becomes very blissful. So we want bliss in our lives. We want eternal happiness in our lives. We don't want momentary happiness. We are looking for eternal. So unless you surrender, and surrender sincerely. Prabhupada, that's why he said, don't be a pseudo devotee, become a sincere devotee. Sincere devotee is the one who is what he is from inside and outside, he is one. He never fakes anything. He is a devotee. Who is a devotee? Often everybody asks, who is a devotee then? Who chants the Harinam, he is a devotee, of course. Those who chant and sing the glories, listen the glories of the Supreme Lord, they are devotees. So, but how do we, it's there, Rupa Goswami has given in Nectar of Instruction, how do we deal with the devotees? If you are a devotee, I am a devotee, then how we should deal with each other? Dadati pratigrahati, he's given this, the dealings among devotees. They should be very loving dealings and no hypocrisy involved. And one should agree to, it's there, the discussion. It should not be my way or highway. It should be the discussion. It should be always dialogue and a solution should be sought out. It should not be that, oh, I'm saying this and this happens. So there is a lot to learn when we surrender to the spiritual master. We take up the instructions as they are. There is no, in Hindi we say kintu and parantu, no if and buts. So we don't say ifs and buts come up. So here Sudama is actually, now he discarded his pride and he came to the home of Krishna. He came to the palace of Krishna. And Krishna is reminding him that how we used to be under the spiritual master. So when we are under the spiritual master, how their days were so blissful in the Gurukul, when they were just doing what the spiritual master was asking them to do. So our life becomes, that's why Prabhupada gave these temples and the importance of the Guru. In the Guru Granth Sahib it says, Guru Sevete Thakur Jane. Those who serve the spiritual master, only they will be entitled to understand Thakur. Nobody else can understand Krishna. Unless you surrender to the Supreme Lord, unless you actually follow the instructions of the Supreme Lord, of the spiritual master. So I was just going through, there is a beautiful verse, it said, like I said, Rupa Goswami says, that one should be very lovingly go to the pure devotee of the Lord, like the spiritual master is the most pure devotee on this planet for the disciple. Like Srila Prabhupada, there are 4 kinds of Guru. There's Marpadaksha Guru, Shiksha Guru, Diksha Guru, Chaitya Guru. When we enter the temple, when we are brought to the temple, somebody guided us. He is our Marpadaksha Guru. He guided us. And we reach the temple, we enter the temple, we bow down before Srila Prabhupada. He becomes our preeminent Shiksha Guru. We read his commentaries, we follow what he has given to the world. He is our Shiksha Guru. There can be many Shiksha Gurus. But Srila Prabhupada remains the preeminent Shiksha Guru. And then we take the training. We have a mentor, we have the other Shiksha Gurus, but we give our heart to one Shiksha Guru. We may have many. All are speaking the same thing, the same philosophy, everything same. But we find attachment to one such a person with whom we can open our hearts. Provided that person doesn't go around and spread the word. We should be very careful with that. With ears and eyes open, we should actually, Guru Maharaj always said that in bhakti, it is always keep your ears and eyes open. Use your discretion power all the time. Guru karo, pani piyo chhankar, guru karo jankar. We drink water not like just gulp it down. We see the glass, if there is a black spot even in it, we discard it off. So we drink water always very pure. It's so crystal clear it should be. So in the Guru Karo Janakar, and take the association, be in the association of the pure devotee of the Lord, and then surrender. Then no ifs and buts, then surrender. And that's why Krishna told Arjuna, give your mind and intelligence to me and then fight. Because Arjuna accepted him as the Adi Guru. He said, you are my Guru now. And then Krishna said, just surrender. What you have to surrender? We say, oh, surrender means what? That we will not work now, we will just sit at home, we will just chant, or we will leave our families. It's not the surrender. And I'll just come and sit in the temple the whole day. That's not surrender. Surrender means you give your mind and intelligence to Krishna. That's what he told Arjuna. Give your mind and intelligence to me and then fight. So fight you have to. That's your duty. That's your prescribed duty. You have to do that. But you give your mind and intelligence to me. That means you work with my mind and my intelligence now. What I tell you, you do that. That's what the spiritual master is. He will give the uniform instructions to everyone. Chant 16 rounds very nicely, attentively, offenselessly. Itself is a very big task. Everything includes in this. Attentively and offenselessly. You have to be very attentive while chanting. You just can't look around and chant. You have to focus on your chanting. I always say, for chanting, I say 3 M's. One should follow 3 M's in their lives if they want to make their chanting very successful. The 3 M's are, first you have the mood for chanting. The mood for chanting, the ambience for chanting. You create that. The Brahmurta is the best mood. You can be in the best mood for chanting. So you get up in the Brahmurta chant. Brahmurta is very important. You go to any man-made religion, everybody accepts this. That early morning, 3:30, 4 o'clock is the best time to get up and chant the holy name. Any man-made religion, wherever you go. You go to a temple, you go to Gurudwara, you go to masjid, you go to church, everywhere. Because this is the time when the nectar flows. This is the time when you can get connected to the Supreme Lord. That is the mood of chanting, the real mood. Otherwise, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has been very merciful. He says there is no hard and fast rule for chanting. The neophytes can chant any time. Once they get the taste of this chanting, they'll automatically get up early in the morning. It is going to be spontaneous. Bhakti is all spontaneous. It's voluntarily, it's surrender. Nobody is asking you. People say in ISKCON, like, when you enter ISKCON, they will brainwash you. Once I was in London and I was giving a program and I was inviting them for the Rath Yatra that had to be happened in London soon. So I told them, please come to the Rath Yatra. And I heard some ladies saying there, you go, but don't take your son along with you. They will snatch him away. And they will brainwash him. I said, so funny you are. We don't brainwash anybody. They understand, they are intelligent, they understand and they surrender. But the materialistic, like these ladies, they were all materialistic. How would they understand? They come to the temple or they come to the gathering just to show off their material belongings. They'll drive down in a Jaguar and they'll show that I came in Jaguar loaded with diamonds or whatever. But there is no harm in driving a Jaguar, there is no harm in being loaded with diamonds even, but if you are surrendered to the Supreme Lord. Supreme Lord is not worried what you wear and what you drive. He is more worried that what you chant, how you surrender. So there, the M, the mood for chanting. The first is the mood for chanting is extremely important. You create that ambience at home. That's why it said, make an altar, place. The altar doesn't mean you have to get the vigraha. Altar means just get a picture of Radha Krishna also. That suffices in itself. Just have a beautiful picture of Radha Krishna placed at a neat and tidy place and offer flowers or offer whatever you can. Krishna says, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam. Just one leaf even would do. One flower would do. So just offer a tulsi leaf or a flower and just have that ambience in your home. So that's the mood for chanting. The second M comes is method for chanting. So the right method to chant. So the right method to chant is you hear what you speak. Like we eat or how we get healthy. The food is cooked in the kitchen and we eat it through our mouth. And then it goes and digests into the stomach. And the whole body gets energy. It's not that you have to feed every part of your body. The doctor doesn't give injections to make if he wants to make your hand healthy, he doesn't give an injection in the hand. He gives you the vitamins, he gives you the things that you consume, and then you digest them and you become healthy. Likewise, the soul needs its food. We have not given the soul the food it wanted. For ages we have not given. Like if you have a parrot, you get a bird at your home as a pet. You don't feed the parrot, but you decorate the cage every day. You stop feeding him, but you have a cage which is very beautiful to look at, very ornamental, very exclusive it is. You just decorate it every day. But then you forgot to feed the parrot. The parrot will die one day. So that is how the soul doesn't die, but the atmic death happens. Spiritually you die. And when the soul dies spiritually, then there is no way out. Then it will fall into the cycle of birth and death again and again, again and again. So how do you feed the soul? The soul is fed by the proper method of chanting. That is, you eat Krishna's name through your tongue. You speak Krishna's name. So when we speak Krishna's name, the Maha Mantra, we eat it with our ears. You have to eat it every word with your ears. Like we say, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So every word of your japa should go into your ears, every word. If you miss out a word, repeat your round. Give punishment to yourself. If you give punishment twice and thrice to yourself, you will be perfect next time. You will be scared of taking the punishment. Oh, my 16 rounds will develop to 20 rounds now. You will be very careful. So, likewise, you digest it in your heart. And the result will come in the heart. The heart will cleanse. That's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says. Cheto darpanam marjanam bhamma davagni nirvapanam. Your heart cleanses, and then the lust, anger, greed, enviousness, everything will go away. And you will become a sincere devotee. Then your dealings with other devotees, you will not look at the faults, you will look at only the good qualities in them. You will forget about the faults in them. You will see, oh, he's also chanting, I'm also chanting. Let's come to a conclusion. Let's discuss. It's very important. I have learned this practically over the 26 years with our association with our spiritual master. That how he would solve the problems, how he would do them, deal with them. He showed it all. He showed how a person is humble, how a person is sincere to a spiritual master. So we have to learn from them. We cannot imitate them, but we have to learn. We have to walk their footsteps, learn from them. So the method is very important for chanting. If we just keep on chanting and murmuring our chants, that is no chanting. Sometimes class is going on and we are struggling with our rounds and we just want to finish with 16 rounds. And we are chanting. Oblivious, we don't know what we are chanting. Sometimes you finish your chanting and you didn't know what you were chanting. What did you do? And sometimes when you will chant like this, listening to every word, you will feel so refreshed, so blessed. You will see the difference. And the third M comes as mellow. Don't let your chanting be dead. Don't let it be monotonous. Some people say, oh, chanting has become very mechanical. Every day in the morning, like a robot, we get up, take a shower, our hand goes into the bead bag, and we start murmuring, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Likewise, the 16, we just look at the counter beads goes down and 16 are over. Very nice. Just put a knot on the bead bag and keep it away now. Not tomorrow morning, we'll see you. So you have no interest in chanting. Your chanting was not live. You did not have any attachment to your chanting. The attachment, actually, when the Guru gives us, he gives us the beads. He actually chants on these beads. They are not ordinary beads. They're the beads that have been chanted. The spiritual master has put his energy into this. He got the energy from the Guru Parampara, Krishna. It's coming from Krishna. If you don't have faith in the spiritual master, then your bhakti will not have the fruit that you're looking for. So these beads are not ordinary beads. They were chanted upon, put the energy by the spiritual master coming from Krishna. So Krishna has blessed you. He's given himself to you. This is himself coming in our hands. This is Krishna himself. The head bead we all know. That's Krishna. And all these beads are the gopis. They are revolving around him. So we want this bhav in us. We want this gopi bhav in us. We want to become like a gopi. We want to surrender like gopis. We want to chant like gopis. Gopis never forget Krishna. So that is how we want to be. So make your chanting very living. How do we make our chanting living? It's we give a mellow to our chanting. The words are the same, but while chanting, you can give a mellow to your chanting. You can give a tune to your chanting. Sometimes you can focus on the word Hare, sometimes you can focus on the word Ram, sometimes on Krishna. So, and chant bit loudly, that you can hear your chanting. We don't want to disturb others, but if you want to speak, if you're disturbing others, walk away from there. But chant bit loudly so that you can hear your chanting, give a mellow to your chanting. I chant like Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. So sometimes, here I was focusing on Krishna. Sometimes you can focus on Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. So it becomes like a song you are singing to yourself. So it gets energy, it gets life into it. Japa is transcendental. It's divine. It is out of this world. It doesn't belong here. It's come from Goloka. Golokara Premadhana. Krishna has sent this for us. And it is actually very difficult to get. It's easy to us because Prabhupada and Chaitanya. Prabhupada has given Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy to us. That's why it seems very easy. Oh, just enter and pick up your beads and start chanting. It's extremely difficult. It's not an easy thing. We have committed so much of piety. I asked this question to my spiritual master. I said, when I lost my father, then I had questions in my life. These questions, I wanted the answers. I got the answers from Prabhupada. I came to ISKCON, Vrindavan, I got the answers. And then I asked my Guru Maharaj that why did I opted for chanting? I could have gone back after a few days of, vairagya that comes to you. It's very falgu. It's very momentary vairagya comes when somebody passes away in our family. We are attached to that person and it's temporary detachment that comes up. So I asked him, why wasn't it temporary? Like I could have gone back to, the material world. I could have forgotten my grief by going to clubs and pubs and enjoy the life as earlier. But why did I actually opted for chanting? So he told me, he said, because you had piety in your life. You have done bhakti somewhere in your previous life. You have done a lot of punyas in your life. Because these punyas went much above than the sins you had committed. And that's why you turned towards Krishna. That's why he blessed you with the chanting beads. That's why the spiritual master comes in your life. Like Dhruva, he wants a bigger kingdom than his father. He wants to take revenge from his stepmother. Because his stepmother has actually pulled him away from the lap of his father, the king Uttanpad. He is the son of a king. His father has two wives, Suniti and Suruchi. Dhruva has a stepmother. And you see the names, Suniti. Suniti means who actually follows dharma, niti. Suruchi, who is totally engrossed in material world. Suruchi, sense gratification. And he is the son of Suniti. When Uttanpad doesn't let him sit in the lap, when Suruchi doesn't let him sit in the lap of Uttanpad, Dhruva runs to his mother, Suniti. He takes the shelter of Dharma. He goes to Suniti. He goes to his mother. Mother is said to be the first guru in our lives. So he runs to Suniti and he asks Suniti, who can help me? I want to play with my father. She said, I cannot help you because your father's favorite is Suruchi, stepmother. I cannot help you in that. But then he said, who will help me? I want to play with him. I want to be. And I want now a bigger kingdom than him. He's so full of revenge. And then Suniti says, only one person can help you, and that's Krishna. And he says, where will I find him? She said, I've heard from sages that in the forest you can find Krishna. He runs away to the forest. He's a 5-year-old boy, and it's not a myth. It's not mythology. It's true. It's written in the Guru Granth Sahib. Every day in the Gurudwara they sing, Ram japo ji aise aise, Dhruv Prahlad japeo har jaise. Chant the name of Ram just as Dhruv Prahlad did, chanted the name of Hari. So Dhruv and Prahlad are our heroes, are our ideals. A 5-year-old boy and a 7-year-old boy. Imagine. Krishna has been so merciful, he speaks the Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna, a Grasta. Again, that the Grastas have no excuse to say, oh, I have a family to take care of. I cannot become a devotee. He spoke the Bhagavad Gita, he chose Arjuna, a Grasta. And now Sudama, a Brahmana, visiting him. So we are learning from him. So it says there that when we surrender to the spiritual master, our life simply changes. So Dhruva now, he asks his mother, and the mother Suniti directs him to the forest, the first guru in his life. He goes to the forest and he yells at the top of his voice the Krishna's name. He actually is yelling and screaming, Krishna, Krishna, and he's screaming. That is actually the Damodar Mass, where you put an effort to run after Krishna. He is running after Krishna for a kingdom. It's materialistic. He's totally materialistic. A 5-year-old boy is asking only the materialistic things. And he wants Krishna to come. But Krishna doesn't appear like that. Who appeared after his yelling for such a long time? Naraji appears. And Naraji is his spiritual master now. The Guru appears. When we search for Krishna, when we run after Krishna, what happens in our lives? Guru appears. Spiritual master comes. And those are very fortunate souls in whose life the spiritual master comes. A bona fide spiritual master, not a spiritual master who has just added a suffix or prefix of Guru into his name. He should be pramanik, he should be bona fide, coming from Guru Parampara, starting from Krishna. So Naraji is the best of the spiritual masters. He's the Mansik Putra of, coming from mind of Brahma, the first progeny of Krishna. So here, now Naraji looks at Dhruva and says, what are you doing? You look to be a prince. What are you doing in the forest? He says, I'm looking for Krishna. He says, you don't get Krishna like that. He says, I want Krishna. My mother told me I can find him here. So that's why I'm calling out to him. And Naraji tried his level best to discourage him. He was taking the test. The Guru always takes the test. He sees till how he can stretch you, till what end he can stretch you. He tried his level best. Naraji says, you go back. What are you doing here? It's the age to play around, not to find Krishna. Go away. Go back to the kingdom. Go back to your palace. This is a very hard life in the forest. There are wild animals here. There are so many things here that a child should not be here. Go away. He said, no, I want Krishna. Dhruva means very determined. Dhruv word means that. And he said, I want Krishna. At any cost, I'm ready to do anything for him. I want him. And Guru Maharaj often, when he used to tell this katha, he used to add this, that he told Naraji, Apna rasta le lo aap. You go your way. Don't disturb me. I want Krishna. You go your way. And if you can help me, it's fine. Otherwise, you go away. He tells Naraji very clearly. Aap apna rasta le lo. And then Naraji sees, he smiles that this is the perfect disciple. He gives him the mantra. A 5-year-old boy is given a mantra. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. And then he does tapasya just for 6 months. Not for thousands of years, just 6 months. And very hard tapasya. He will not eat anything. Only first he would eat all the dropped fruits and flowers, then the dried in 3 days. First it was in 3 days, then it came out like gradually he came to in 9 days just gasping air, that's all, no water. And then on one foot he's standing and his thumb is actually pressing the earth. And now the mother earth, she is shaking. Indra's throne is shaking in heavens. His tapasya is so great. They all are now, the demigods are all worried what's happening. On the planet Earth, there is a boy called Dhruva, just a 5-year-old boy. Naraji has given him the mantra, Diksha mantra, and he's chanting. The Gurbani says, Bin Diksha Gyan Kaisa. Without Diksha, knowledge doesn't come. The knowledge doesn't stay. We may listen again and again, but if we are sincere disciples, then the knowledge stays. So here, when Dhruva is so exalted in he's done his tapasya he's doing, then Krishna has to appear. Krishna appears on the request of all the demigods. They pray to him that please go and give darshan to Dhruva. And then Krishna appears. He actually, just like we read earlier, that how Narsingh in the 7th canto, you must have read how Narsingh Avatar came, and he placed his loving hand on the forehead of Prahlad. Likewise, when Krishna appears before Dhruva, he touches his Panchanya conch shell on the head of Dhruva. And Dhruva starts glorifying Krishna in the Sanskrit verses. He had never read those verses. He had never studied anywhere. But he starts singing the glories of Krishna. Whenever Krishna appears, the devotees sing the glories of Krishna. So then Dhruva prayed to Krishna. And Krishna says, what do you want? He says, I don't want anything. He's totally purified. He says, I don't want. He said, but you did such a tapasya to get a kingdom. Now you say you don't want. He says, I want to go with you. He says, no. Krishna says, but I will give you for what you did the tapasya. But what I am going to do is, I'll give you everything, but I will take your attachment to that thing. He gave the kingdom, but he took all the attachment to the kingdom from him. He had no attachment to the opulence now he owned. No attachment to you will be the king for whole of the universe. The whole world now is yours to rule over. And you will rule for 36,000 years. Dhruva ruled for 36,000 years. And then Krishna said, but when you will leave this planet, you will live in this body itself. You will not give up your material body. You will be, because he was so purified now. And I'll give you a loka, an eternal loka for you, where you will again be the guide to those who are doing bhakti. And he gave him the Dhruva Loka, the pole star. Today also Dhruva is there. Dhruva very much resides there with his mother. And when 36,000 years went by, he ruled the kingdom just like a father. He was never attached to the opulence he owned. He never became puffed up for that, except you will read the story of Yakshas when he killed them, and for the step-brother, he fought with them. The same stepmother and step-brother who objected to him, they were the cause of his tapasya. He wanted to take revenge, and for them he's fighting now. He became so transformed. Because a Vaishnava is the one who actually is not the enemy of his enemy even. वो अपने शत्रु का भी शत्रु नहीं होता है. That is a Vaishnava. He is friendly with everyone. Whether he is your enemy also, he is friendly with them. He is nice to them. He prays for them that unka bhi bhala ho. We say Sarbat ka bhala in the Gurdwara every day. The Ardas happens, they say Sarbat ka bhala. Everyone, sabka, we are well-wisher for everyone. So that includes, you don't say, I am not wishing well to these names. These are my enemies. I don't wish well for them. We never say that. We say, sabka bhala ho. So that includes your enemies even. So there is actually no enemy, no friends in this world. Everybody is working according to their previous karmas and your karmas. They are actually reacting with your karmas. If you give reaction, you are making new karmas and then you will suffer again. So likewise, Dhruva, the Garudji came to pick him up, to take him, the Vishnu Dutas were there, they came to receive him when he was leaving this planet. So Dhruva asked one thing, where is my mother? And they said she's in the other plane and she has been transported to the Dhruva Loka. She will stay with you. So this is how, if you are really surrendered to the words of the spiritual master, Krishna has to come. He is actually forced to come. So that is how the power of the spiritual master is. Likewise, Dhruva was taken away, the asakti was taken, attachment was taken by Krishna. Dhruva had no attachment to the kingdom. Likewise, in the next chapter when we read, Sudama is blessed with a palace, with all the opulence in the world. But Krishna takes away all the attachment. He never gets attached to what he receives. And then finally goes back to Godhead. He is purified after meeting Krishna totally. He is a Brahmana already, he has knowledge. But the utilization of the knowledge came when he meets Krishna. So when we come to the temple and surrender to the Supreme Lord through the spiritual master, that's we receive the knowledge and then we put to use of that knowledge is when we follow the instructions of the spiritual master. That knowledge is not for you to become proud. This knowledge is for you to spread out, to give out under the instruction, the guidance of the spiritual master. So these shlokas are very powerful. This chapter is very powerful, where the glorification of the Supreme Lord is there, but the more who is glorified, spiritual master is glorified more here. So it's actually the spiritual master who gives us Krishna. Nobody else can give us Krishna. So if we don't get Krishna, we don't go back to Godhead. So there is Srila Prabhupada renders the learned Brahmana's feelings. My dear Krishna, you are the Supreme Lord, Sudama said, and Supreme Spiritual Master of everyone. And since I was fortunate enough to live with you in the house of our Guru, I think I have nothing more to do in the matter of prescribed duties, Vedic duties. So he says, I have no more duty to do, just to surrender to the instructions of the spiritual master. So anybody has any question? I think so. The time is already there. Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much for the wonderful class, Mataji. You took us to a different level. Thank you so much. Mataji, I just have one question. Sudama has seen Krishna in the Gurukul, and then he ate with Krishna, but then only after he meet him in Dwarka, that's where he got the opulence and attachment is taken away. In this process, what is the difference between the darshan of him in the Gurukul and darshan in the Dwarka? Is it just only a pastime or is there any purification?
Yesterday, you were there in the yesterday class?
Yes.
So we discussed that here now he was a Brahmana, Sudama. But Krishna asked him, what happened when you left the Gurukul? What happened? Where were you? Then he got married. But then he was a Brahmana, but he was puffed up. That ahankar was there. Then I will not go to Krishna to ask anything. The Brahmanas, usually we think they are Daridra because Brahmanas have got 6 things to do. Yajan, Yajan, Patana, Pathan, and they receive and give gifts. So Yajana, Yajan, they do yagyas and they make others do. So Sankirtan Yagya. They will chant and make others chant. Yajan, Yajan, Patana, Pathan. They receive knowledge, they give knowledge. They have to. It's their duty. And then they receive gifts, they give gifts. The gift of knowledge, the gift of Krishna, the gift of chanting, that all they have to do. That's their job, the 6 things they have to do. But here, he was a puffed up Brahmana. His wife is saying, go to your friend. But he says no. But then she forces him and then he goes. So Krishna knows everything that he is not coming. Like you have the story of Draupadi. We raise our hands and we say Hare Krishna Mahamantra always. We say and we put up our hands up. So that's a sign of surrender. It's a sign of surrender. So we are actually learning this sign, we got this from Draupadi. When Draupadi was being disrobed in Hastinapur, in Delhi, Krishna is in Dwarka. Krishna was not in Delhi, he was in Dwarka. So Dwarka, he was with Rukmini at that time, and he was very worried. He was going up and down in the room. And Rukmini says, why are you worrying? What's happened? There's something wrong. He says, my friend, Krishna, he's Krishna and she's Krishna. They are best friends. Her name is Krishna. So he says, my best friend Krishna is in trouble. And he says, why don't you go and help him then? Help her then. He says, because she hasn't called me. She hasn't called for me now, till now. There in the courtroom, she's dragged. She's brought in the courtroom where she's going to be disrobed before everybody. Then Krishna tells Rukmini that she has a lot of pride. Draupadi was thinking at that time she has 5 husbands, all 5 very powerful, sons of demigods. They were not ordinary human beings. Draupadi was fully confident they would not let this happen to her. She was fully confident of this. But then, when she looked at her husbands, they turned their faces away. They put their heads down. They had lost her. They could not help her. So then, Draupadi, her now attention actually shifts to her Bhisham Pitama and the gurus. Guru Dronacharya is there. She thinks, how can they let this happen? They will never let this happen. I am their daughter-in-law. Krishna tells to Rukmini, now she is looking at them, that they will help her. But they also turn their faces away. Bhisham Pitama can't help her. Who gives the all knowledge to Yudhishthira, who is there, who has got the Ichha Mrityu, he's got the Vardhan. He doesn't help her. Then her attention diverts to Dhritarashtra. He is the father-in-law. How can he let this happen? But he's blind. He's materially blind, he's spiritually blind. He's both ways blind. Now Krishna says, she has got full faith in herself. She is a Yagyaputri. She is not an ordinary woman. She was born out of a yagya. She's got a lot of energy, a lot of chastity in her. She clasped with both the hands, she's clutching her sari. She's got a lot of strength. She's not letting it go. She's fighting herself. And then she's unable to fight anymore. She leaves one hand first, then the second hand. And both the hands go up in the air. And she says, hey Krishna, Raksha Mam. She calls for Krishna. So Krishna appears in a less than a fraction of a second. It was just less than the time you blink your eyes even. He was there in the form of sari. Nobody could restore her. So this is how Krishna is. He works. He sees our pride and he takes foot back. But if we surrender, then Krishna is there always with us. He's always protecting his devotees, like Prahlad, like Dhruva. He always gives them what they desire, protect them. So Draupadi was protected. So this is how it is. The Sudama, it was there that he shed off all his ahankar, all his pride when he meets. And while returning, he was very blissful that Krishna honored him. He felt that he was really honored so well in Krishna's home, in the palace. He never expected that would happen. Though Krishna never gave him anything. He did not give him anything there. It was just a big surprise for him when he reaches his hometown. But then Krishna, he did not think of that even, that Krishna did not give anything. But he actually focused more on how Krishna welcomed him, how he was honored there. So all that ego in him went away. That such a big king he is, he's the supreme lord, and how he welcomed me. So that is how it is. Krishna actually showed humility, that he is not arrogant. When he says in Bhagavad Gita, Manbhava Madhvakto Madhyaji Mam Namaskuru, be my devotee, sing my glories. People say, oh, how arrogant he is. He says, I am the God, sing my glories. Now this is your work, do this. So that's what actually Krishna can afford to say. We can't afford to say even this. So that is how when we shed off our ego, then Krishna appears. And Guru helps us to shed off our ego. Guru only makes us realize that your ego is the biggest impediment in bhakti. Guru makes us realize this because he gives us service, and when we do the service, we become humble. Once I was doing parikrama, we were doing Govardhan parikrama with Guru Maharaj, and I usually used to walk in front with Guru Maharaj itself. So there was a big crowd followers at the back, but when you are, that was my habit, clicking his pictures, being there always. So we were just doing the parikrama, and there was a person doing Dandavati. And everybody surrounded him, and he was a devotee from a temple in India somewhere. So everybody was glorifying him. See Guru Maharaj, he's doing Dandavati. He was Guru Maharaj's disciple only. So Guru Maharaj, and everybody glorifying him. He's doing Dandavati, he's such a exalted devotee, and there's this, that. And Guru Maharaj came near to him and saw him. He got up, he paid obeisances. So Guru Maharaj said, you're doing Dandavati? When you're given a service in the temple, you're nowhere. What is the use of this Dandavati? It's done. The ahankar that was coming in for doing a Dandavati was gone immediately. Must have gone. He said, there is no use of this Dandavati. When a service is given to you, you're nowhere in the temple. So Guru Maharaj always said, there are three kinds of devotees, disciples. First is the first class, to whom you don't have to give the instructions. He or she knows what the instructions are, and they follow it. Before even the spiritual master speaks, they do it. Second are the ones to whom he says, and then they do it. And the third one is whom he says, and still they don't take any interest in that. They don't do it. So always be the first class. And if not the first, at least be the second one. But never the third one. Never become a third one. So we can see the Bhagavatam says this. Those who follow the spiritual master, they go back to Godhead. Follow the instructions of the spiritual master. So that is how the nishtha in spiritual master must be very strong. The faith should be strong. And the faith comes when you listen more about him. When you talk more about him. If you want your faith in Krishna, then you talk more about Krishna, listen more about Krishna, your faith becomes more strong in Krishna. And that happens in the association of devotees, nowhere else. Only in the association of devotees, because they talk about Krishna. Krishna says, I am present there. Wherever they sing my glories, I am there. So wherever the glories of the spiritual master are sung, he's there. Because Vaishnavas never die. Vaishnavas are always there. If they live far away also, if they are on this planet also. But the only connection, Guru Maharaj always said in his lectures, the connection between the Guru and the disciple is chanting. You chant here, I chant there. Our connection is actually there. So the chanting is the only connection we have with the spiritual master. More sincerely we chant, more sincerely the reciprocation will come. And it comes 100%. Haribol. Any other question? We end the session. Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
So my question is like how to get confidence in the process of surrendering.
And the same answer is you have to be in the association of devotees. Unless you are, Guru Maharaj used to say, the diseases are many, the problems are many, solution is one, chanting the holy name. He said there is only one universal medicine, chant the holy name, sincerely, attentively, offenselessly. So this is important. Offenselessly is a big thing. The 10 namaprads, you have to be very careful not committing them. So we start our day early in the morning, first repeating those 10, that we have to abstain from these 10 namaprads. Telling ourselves the most important Vaishnava prad. We should never ever commit Vaishnava prad. We should never do ninda, no backbiting. There is a big class I can give on criticism, not criticizing devotees. One should never criticize a devotee. Never criticize those who chant the holy name. See the goodness in them, don't see the faults. So if you see the faults, these faults will be transferred to you. If you see a fault in someone, oh, he's like that. Don't Wait for a few days, you'll become like that. they will be transferred. Those who actually criticize others, their piety is finished. वो अपने पुण्य खो देते हैं, दूसरे के पाप धुल जाते हैं, उनका पाप का घड़ा कभी भरेगा ही नहीं. If they are committing sins and you are again and again, you tell the authorities who can rectify him. But if you keep on gossiping about it, what happens is then their sins will be washed away. There is a very beautiful verse in the Gurbani. It says, I've given in my book, it says, ki, a pure devotee says, Nindo, you do my ninda. I'm very happy. Please do. Please criticize me. Because the more you criticize me, more my sins will be gone, what I've committed. More piety will come to me and I'll go back to Godhead. You will remain here. It happens. It says, there's a famous verse in the Gurbani. Nindo mohe nindo. It says, निंदक हमारे मैले कपड़े धोए. जो हमारी निंदा करता है वो हमारे मैले वस्त्र धो रहा है. So it's okay. And Guru Maharaj said the same, that if somebody is criticizing, your numbers are up before Krishna. You're rising more. If he criticizes, he's taking away the sins from me. My pap are all being washed away. Provided I don't retaliate. I remain calm, composed, and pray to Krishna to please give him intelligence, that he becomes good. I don't do tit for tat. There are many things that come along with that. That if somebody is criticizing you, you don't have to criticize back. If you do it, your karma is done now. Now, nobody can save you also. But you just don't criticize the other person. You just pray to Krishna that I may not get any jealousy, any hatred for him. Let me be pure now. You surrender to the words of Guru. That's all. Haribol. So we end the session is Srimad Bhagavatam Mahapurana ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Radha Shyam Sundar Bhagwan ki jai, Damodar Mas ki jai. God Premanande. Hari Bol. Thank you. There are very few books left, just 5 books are left. So those who want to pick up a book, they can meet Nirmal Gopi Mataji. I'm finished with all the books now.
Thank you.
Thank you, Guruji. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Oh, yes.
Are you coming for youth class?
In the evening? Yeah, I'm coming for youth class.